What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebrous Infinite, and it's safe to say that as beautiful and fun to play as Deathloop is, there are still sadly some issues. Very few games launch perfectly these days, and even though the issues aren't Cyberpunk 2077 level issues, it's still a shame to see them. So let's talk about some assumed causes, some workarounds, and some specific tips I've found to help avoid some problems. The first and most blamed issue is the use of Denuvo. Denuvo is anti-piracy software that causes a lot of issue with games in general, and more importantly, it really hampers video games' performance. It isn't always the cause, but it's caused some pretty bad problems in the past and might be the root of a lot of issues in Deathloop. The removal of Denuvo is entirely possible. The real question is whether or not Bethesda will decide to do that. A lot of times, I think video game companies use Denuvo in these early cases of launch just to kind of save and preserve some of those launch numbers, even though it can hamper the experience overall. It does save them a couple hundred units worth from piracy and stuff like that. So, Denuvo, it could be removed along the way and might potentially lead to some performance improvements, but it might also not be the root of the issues at all. Some folks believe that it could be a memory write issue, which is far more complicated than what I'm qualified for, but I don't think that it's a bad call, personally. The main issue here in Deathloop is that whether you have the desired specs on PC or not, you have the potential of facing stuttering. It does seem like there might be another issue, though, so I'm just going to throw this out here. And I'm sure that a few people have thought of it as well, but it could be the Void engine itself. Dishonored 2 launched with strikingly similar issues of poor frame rates, crashing, and other issues. And the last really big issue here in Deathloop is the stability when you're playing as Juliana online. When you play as Colt, there's no real issue, but playing as Juliana can be laggy and sludgy, and definitely not the best experience. So, let's talk about a few known workarounds for things like input lag, stuttering, and a few errors along the way. For visual stuttering, you might want to cap your FPS. I found if I kept mine locked at 60, the stuttering all but went away entirely, and that having unlocked frame rates was a major cause of stuttering when I was playing. If your DLC isn't unlocking from pre-ordering the game, try completing a few loops first, and the DLC should show up in your inventory after that. For the audio cutting off, I sadly haven't found a proper solution to this myself. That's one of those issues that I think is more so in need of a patch. The menu can overlay at random sometimes, it seems, but if you slow down with your menuing, it happens way less frequently. So try to take a second when you're going from your journal to the pause menu. And for a few errors that you can solve yourself, error C05 is an access violation error. You can disable RT if you have it enabled. And then for error C01D, it's an illegal instruction error, so basically you just have to refund the game on Steam and then purchase it from Bethesda. I'm sure if you get the last error, you can also contact Bethesda support if this is an issue affecting a pre-order. I'm going to have Bethesda's website linked down below in case if any of you dudes are having that problem. As well, always make sure that you're on the current AMD or NVIDIA driver. That's just basic PC care, though. And for the Juliana lag issue, I think that's more related to the servers we play on, so there isn't much you can do, but hopefully Bethesda and Arkane will be able to improve those through patches and over time. I really hope Arkane will give some post-launch love to Deathloop. It's a really radical video game that absolutely deserves to be enjoyed at its fullest potential. So, thank you for watching. Hopefully this video helps if you've had any issues, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.